I believe it's pretty optimistic. You want to think about a couple of things. First of all, on the economics front, you can look at the Super Forecasters project from the Good Judgment. We're now looking at something like 70% probability of a vaccine mass distributed by the end of the first quarter. So that's certainly a good backdrop. The economic growth forecast for 2021 by my colleagues here in Goldman Sachs Economics forecasts around 6% average annual growth next year. Consensus is a little bit less than 4%. So that certainly gives some room for upside in expectations. My colleagues throughout the equity research department here at Goldman have a reopening of America index. Carl, this is now reading 5. I just read 5 last week. If you want to think about 1 as a lockdown and 10 as normal, back to where you were at the very beginning of February, just had a reading of 5. So we're pretty much halfway back. That's positive. Then you look at some of the indications on the earnings expectations that we have right now for 2021, around $170 of earnings. Consensus around 165. So I think there's upside margin there. And one of the interesting things, Carl, is people are now focusing on 2022. I think that's partly a rationalization of the move in the share prices. We're looking at $188, $188 for 2022. So we have basically a couple of years of pretty strong recovery, and then positioning is also pretty modest right now. It's not fully stretched that we saw, say, in late February, as an example. So those are some of the reasons that give us some optimism on what's taking place. And it's one of the arguments in favor of some continued focus on growth stocks, particularly in the technology area, would be a big area of focus for us in terms of discussions with clients. And then, by extension, one of the issues, if you do get a vaccine, and most people on the buy side seem to be anticipating sometime in October that there's an identification of what the vaccine could be, and by the end of 2020, the end of the year, probably having that approved by the FDA. I'm not an epidemiologist, but that's what investors are expecting. All that's pretty positive and supports a 3,600 target that I have for the S&P at the end of this year.